After using the Fujifilm X-T4 over a few weeks now, I have 7 reasons on why I recommend the Fujifilm X-T4 over the Fujifilm X-T3. The game changer reason for me is the 5-axis IBIS, which allows up to 6.5 stopper stabilization depending on which lens you are using. There were so many times when I tried to do a handheld video and ended up coming back home with a pretty video, but all shaky. You can try all the tricks from the book, ninja walk, 3-point stabilization and all this, but it is easier said than done, especially when you start out in videography like me. Even for more experienced people, they can mess it up time to time, so why not have a tool to help you? The other reason on why I like to have the IBIS is that it allows you to travel without carrying a gimbal and still keep a somewhat decent video capability. And gimbals like the DJI-1 SE are not that small. They may take up quite an amount of space in your luggage, which you may want to keep for your other camera gear or maybe some souvenir. I haven't had a chance to really test it out in a real scenario, but having the IBIS will also allow you to have a longer shutter speed while taking still photo and without a tripod. So what this means for you is that you will be able to have a brighter photo, and this is especially useful at nighttime. So one thing I want to be clear about using a longer shutter speed, this will not be useful if you are trying to shoot a moving object, because you will need to have that faster shutter speed to have a clear and sharp photo. The last point that I want to make about the IBIS is when you are using it on a longer focal length. If you have tried to use the telephoto lens before to shoot a video, you may have seen that it is quite shaky. So having this IBIS is definitely quite helpful to make a more stabilized shot. So you can see from this video, the footage coming from the Fujifilm X-T3 without IBIS is much more shaky on a telephoto lens compared to the Fujifilm X-T4 with IBIS. And this is especially pronounced when you are on a longer focal length. So having the IBIS on the Fujifilm X-T4 is definitely a big plus point over the Fujifilm X-T3. I'm done talking about the IBIS, so let's have a look at the second reason, the screen. Some may hate the new screen that Fujifilm has put on the Fujifilm X-T4, but I personally love it. It gives a certain flexibility not only to see yourself for vlogging, but for other kind of video shoot also. While filming this video, I can for example see myself to make sure that I am correctly framed. If you have a video shoot with an overhead rig and you want to see yourself, you won't be able to do so with the Fujifilm X-T3. So you can now do that with the Fujifilm X-T4 by just tilting the screen toward you. I know that some of you may complain that the screen is too small, but it is at least enough so that you can see yourself and to make sure that you are correctly in frame. And it is sometimes better than nothing. It is true that with the new screen that Fujifilm has put on the X-T4, it feels less sturdy and I have the fear that it will break easily. I do enjoy its functionality much more than the tilt screen that they have put on the Fujifilm X-T3. But if you're careful like I am, I believe that the flip screen will last you a lifetime. Battery is the reason number 3. Number 3? Yeah. So the Fujifilm X-T4 comes with a new battery, the NP-W235, and Fujifilm rated this new battery 1.5 times more durable than the one that came with the Fujifilm X-T3. So we are talking about 500 shots of still photo on the Fujifilm X-T4 compared to the 390 on the Fujifilm X-T3. For 4K video, this is where we can see a lot of difference in terms of battery capacity. Fujifilm estimates the X-T4 being able to last 85 minutes compared to 40 minutes on the Fujifilm X-T4 3. It's quite insane that the Fujifilm X-T4 can last twice as much as the X-T3. On top of that, this is quite useful when you want to take a time-lapse because your camera will be able to last much longer than before. One of the things that I really disliked is that Fujifilm did not include a battery charger with the X-T4. I don't mind paying the price, but I would have preferred it included in the box, or as an option. Let's now talk about the change that Fujifilm has done on the dial of the X-T4. It seems like a minor change to some of you, but to me, this is incredible. So let me tell you, based on some experience that I had while traveling, it happened to me a lot that I have to switch in between still and movie mode. So having a dedicated dial in order to switch between just two options, still and movie, this is a major change for me. It makes my life so much easier to have this dial. It is especially a big point because at night when you cannot see your dial, it's super easy for you to switch in between still and movie. So why this is important, it is because on the Fujifilm X-T3, when you want to switch from movie to still, there are other modes in between and after the still mode. So what I used to do is to count the number of dials that I turn in order to reach the still mode. This is something that I no longer have to do because there's only two options, still and movie. Reason number 5 is the larger body. It feels so much nicer to hold the X-T4 compared to the X-T3. And this is because of the extra thickness that the X-T4 has over the X-T3, which is about 5 millimeters, I think. It may not seem like a lot, it may not seem like a huge increase of thickness, but when you hold it into your hand, you can definitely feel that you have a firmer hold to the camera on the X-T4 compared to the X-T3. The next point that I want to talk about is the menu. Fujifilm has reorganized the menu on the X-T4. They have made one specific menu for the They have made a specific menu for the still mode and one specific menu for the movie mode. And this is so much more simpler than the one that they have on the Fujifilm X-T3, whereby on the Fujifilm X-T3, the menu was mixed in between still and movie mode. So when you were on the still mode, sometimes you have some of the options for movie mode and they were grayed out, and vice versa. When you were on the movie mode, they have some great options which were for still mode. So this menu that we have on the X-T4 is much more organized and simpler to use compared to the X-T3. I definitely hope that Fujifilm can bring this menu onto the X-T3 and other cameras. Of course, I'm not sure if they can do that through firmware, but I think they do. So let's hope that Fujifilm bring that onto the other cameras too. So the last reason on why I recommend the Fujifilm X-T4 over the X-T3 is the shutter. There is a new shutter unit on the Fujifilm X-T4, which is much more quieter. But this is not the main point. Fujifilm has doubled the actuation that the shutter can take on the X-T4 compared to the X-T3. So the shutter on the X-T3 had an actuation rate about 150,000 and the X-T4 has doubled that, so about 300,000. So what it means, if I understood well, is that the shutter will be able to last twice as long on the X-T4 compared to the X-T3. With this new shutter unit on the X-T4, it will also allow me to go up to 15 FPS on the mechanical shutter compared to the 11 FPS from the X-T3. And the new sound on this shutter, So these are my 7 reasons on why I recommend the Fujifilm X-T4 compared to the Fujifilm X-T3. So this is my own style, my own kind of usage. You may have a different one than me. Maybe you're more into photography than I am. I am more into videography. But I hope that this video has helped you into choosing which camera you want between the X-T4 and the X-T3. If you have the budget for it, I would definitely recommend the X-T4 over the X-T3 if you are like me, more into videography. I hope you liked the video. Please like and subscribe if you're a Fujifilm shooter. Even if you're not, please like and subscribe. This will help me grow my channel. Thanks a lot. Aye aye.